Biden. Let's get out to our panel. Former Obama campaign director, Democrat strategist, and Georgia-based Robin Biro with us. And also pleased to have the Director of Government Affairs and Global Strategies at Nestpoint, Tim Phillips. Guys, welcome in.
Thank you, Bianca.
Absolutely.
We've got some other stories before Georgia, but I do want to get just a real quick top-line thought to you, since you know the state of play, Robin, there. That was a really kind of lots of love fest in that first visit. And we talked earlier, we knew that there would be people who are excited about President Trump's visit, despite some of the messaging coming from the left, including Senator Jon Ossoff, who took some slams against him on Stephen Colbert last night.
And like I said, Jon Ossoff has his own trouble here within the Democratic Party base because of some of the laws that he's supported. And that's going to be a challenge for him. So, Donald Trump is here sort of at a seminal moment, a pivotal time when we're trying to sort of find our identity, because Brian Kemp is term limited. He's on his way out. Marjorie Taylor Greene resigned. And right now, the Democratic Party is sort of trying to find its own, do we still love Jon Ossoff? There's not really anybody else to replace him on our side. So we don't, we're in the pickle, Bianca.
All right. Well, obviously, President Trump will be delivering remarks. So I want to talk about some other stories outside of Georgia, as I mentioned here. So, Tim, we have Mayor Zohran Mamdani talking about the budget. It is a record high $122 billion budget for 2027. And one of his proposals is to cut $22 million from NYPD and cancel some of the new police hires that were already approved. Maybe on brand for what they knew they were going to get if they elected him. And also, they're talking about raising property taxes by nearly 10%. What do you see as some of the effects on this?
I think the biggest, if Mamdani gets the cuts he is seeking to the police budget, that's 5,000 fewer NYPD officers on the streets that are slated to be hired in 26, 27, and 28. 5,000. That's important to keep the streets safe in Manhattan, and it will be a net drop in spending on protecting New York's citizens. And we've seen what can happen when New York City gets out of control. We've seen these radical Palestinian riots in New York City, the day-to-day homeless issues, the difficulties riding the subway system, especially at night, which I was there this past weekend. I would not candidly want to ride too much on those subways at night after seeing it up close. It really does have a negative impact. And get this, Bianca, New York City, this budget being proposed, spends more money than the state of Florida spends, despite the fact that New York City has 40% less people than Florida does. That's the level of out-of-control spending we're talking about in New York City.
And speaking of Florida, Tim, a lot of folks left New York during COVID to come down here. And Robin, Mamdani's been talking about increasing taxes on wealthy residents and corporations to close the budget gap, so there could be potentially more people leaving. Yeah, I know during the campaign, a lot of people had attacked Mamdani on a number of things, but including his lack of experience. I mean, Robin, is he really ready to deal with this budget, to deal with the issues of New York? Tim just covered Law and Order spectacularly. I mean, this is prime time. People are dying on the streets there, and they're dying during storms. 18 people homeless.
It's a real problem. And look, I remember myself. I'm 50 years old now. I remember myself when I was 34 years old and doe-eyed, thinking that some of these great ideas, these ideas sounded just spectacular. And when I saw Mamdani propose 7,500 peace officers and cutting 5,000 police officers, that reminded me sort of where I was when I was that age. These are great in theory. I'm skeptical. I hope they work. No one wants anything to happen bad in New York City. I don't want to freeze to death or have violent crimes happen. But I'm worried because these particularly peace officers don't have police power. That concerns me, and I hope that they can do a good job of de-escalating tensions. I think that needs to be trained more in our police force, but they've got their work cut out for them. More power to the peace officers.
All right, I know no one wants to see anyone harmed. My daughter lives in New York. She takes the subway at time. I mean, I'm always I'm always nervous as a mom, but, you know, being in New York, it's hard. There was this video, and I want to get your reaction, Tim. Palm Beach County deputies shared it. A 76-year-old, a man by the name of Paul Messer, they say he struck a Trump supporter in the chest and neck with a metal flagpole. You can see some of the images here. This is just outside the Trump International Golf Course. That's in West Palm, right near, people are familiar, near PBI Airport. Here's how the officers described the attack.
She had marks all across her neck and was taking the thing and just, taking the flagpole and freaking just slamming it into her side of her neck and her head.
He was arrested for battery, bond set $1,000. It is, and in Florida, it's FAFO down here when it comes to crime.
You bet. I think this is what happens, though, when the left normalizes the kind of language calling people who are Trump supporters fascist and Nazis. We see that and hear that rhetoric all the time now. Well, if you're a slightly mentally disturbed person or a very passionate leftist and you see your opponents being called by the people you look up to on television or cable network outlets fascist and Nazis, it gives you a bit of a permission in your mind to do these kind of physical assaults. I think the left really does have a violence problem, and they need to tone down their rhetoric. This calling people who are simply Republicans or Trump supporters Nazis and fascists, it can lead to this kind of normalization of violence, Bianca, and it's a terrible problem.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the people who were gathered there, those were peaceful supporters. As they always say, peaceful protesters. We have peaceful supporters there, just not minding their own business on a beautiful sunny day turned ugly. We'll see. Obviously, we hope the person who had struck gets better very soon. Wishing them fast recovery. Tim Phillips, Robin Byro, guys, good to have you. And I know we'll be talking Georgia very soon here with President Trump about to take the stage. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.